Welcome to Casualty Powersports. We're going to go over some of the things we need to do as a pre-ride inspection on our machine. Even if you get your car serviced, if your car's been sitting for some time, I would recommend that you check your tire pressure, because sometimes tires leak at different rates and or air leaks in whatever situation, just with weather change, anything like that. I typically recommend 14 psi, 15 psi, depends if you're in the rocks or the sand. If you have rocks, I recommend a higher pressure so you can protect your sidewalls of your machine. A lot of times you can kind of just shake your machine, make sure that nothing's loose. And if you do feel some clunks, you can identify what's loose. And if you're not sure what it is, you can bring it to the shop. We can take care of that. We have some lights for some night rides. We particularly use yellow because yellow cuts through the dust much better than white does as reflectiveness. There is an amber, there's a yellow, and there's a white. We are not running light bars due to this car having a hood scoop, but we also have a windshield. We really like the windshield to cut the dust and the dirt, and the light bar glares off the windshield. So we're trying to get forward lighting, especially with the front bumper. We never ran front bumpers before, but we found really killer electric designs, off-road designs front bumpers, and they hold our lights very well. You want to make sure your machine is full of fuel. That's a big key because you don't want to get stuck out in the desert, especially if it's really hot and you have children and the scenario goes down from there. We're trying to be ready for the trail, and we're trying to have a successful ride. Spare tire, big recommendation. You got an electric off-road design spare tire rack right here. Super simple. It goes up with the tire rack. Then we have a bed box in the back. So we're gonna fill our cooler up in the back with our AEO cooler, and we're going to put ice and refreshments and snacks. And the big part of that is you're going to want to bring enough in case you do break down once again. Same thing with traveling in your car up I-17. If you do have a failure and it's really hot out in this desert, you're going to want to be prepared no matter what. On this side here, we have a compartment, pretty cool. We have a Simpsons first aid kit. Maybe somebody gets a scratch, bruise, or you get a cholla stuck in your arm, you can get it pulled out. Sometimes people like to have pliers with them, or maybe a hair pick, and that gets the cholla that gets thrown from your front tire into the window. You can get it out that way, because if you've ever been around chollas, they are very difficult to get off of you. But once again, you want to do the overview, make sure your lights are working. Some people have turn signal kits. Otherwise, in Arizona, you can use your arm as right turn, left turn. And you want to check your oil. You got a little dipstick down here. You pull it out, check it, make sure you're good. Look for oil leaks. Sometimes you'll see them on the ground before you leave your shop or your house. A big indicator of service that needs to be rendered. You don't want to run out of oil, because then you're going to blow up a very expensive engine. But pretty much just do a walk around on your machine. Make sure your coolant's good. Make sure your lights work once again, and your shocks aren't leaking. And it's occasionally make sure your lug nuts are tight. These are beadlock wheels. They are serviceable wheels. So sometimes if you have a slow leak, you're going to find these screws coming loose. Especially with the Can-Am from the factory, they had many bolts loose from the factory. That's where they're almost falling out. So those are some key. Every car has their own glitches, so I'm not particularly bagging on Can-Am. Polarises and KRXs and Kawasaki's, and everything has its own things you need to pay particular attention to. And if you have any questions, you can call us and we can help you through that.